Welcome to the October 17th Board of Trustees meeting. We will begin the meeting as we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Tonight's moment of silence are for all the victims of the past two hurricanes. God bless them for what they're going through, and let's hope this ends real soon. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. We will proceed with the approval of the minutes, please. Mr. Luby.
We have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the Board of Trustees September 4th and September 11th, 2024 meetings.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
Motion to approve the payment of overtime for pay periods ending September 17th and October 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Report from the fiscal officer, please.
We have Resolution 2024-165, amending appropriations for expenses and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Is there any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes. Resolution passes. Significant transactions, Mr.
None
Luby?
at this time.
All right. Then we will go to trustee correspondence. Trustee Seavey?
Really nothing at this time. I have a couple residents that had questions about grass growing in the curbs. Also, a few residents with questions about blowing leaves into the street is illegal, everybody. It's
A hazard.
Yeah, it's a real safety hazard. So with fall leaves, remember not to blow them into the street, and that would be great. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. I just want to remind everybody there's lots of activities going on this fall up here at DTS. So we have bands, we have trunk or treat, we have classes, we have there'll be a parade this year in case anybody had any question with some activities here afterwards. So please go to Facebook and watch, Delhi Event Center and see everything that's planned for you. All right. Fire Department, we have a voluntary resignation.
We have a motion to accept the voluntary resignation of part-time firefighter EMT J. William Sissel, effective October 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of part-time firefighter EMT Noah J. Goddard, effective October 3rd, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of part-time firefighter EMT Noah M. Grubbs, effective October 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
We have a motion to approve the hiring of Colton Staith as part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a voice stress analyzer, pre-employment physical, and drug testing effective on October 17th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
Motion to approve the hiring of Chase Carter as part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of the EMT certification, voice stress analyzer, pre-employment physical, and drug testing effective on October 17th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Chief, you want to tell us about all these personnel?
So we've lost a few. We had one leave for a full-time position, and then two that could not make three part-time jobs work, which is understandable. The two that we just put on motion to hire were brought in yesterday, and pending their physicals and things, we'll bring them on. We are still well-staffed. We're not short on any of our shifts. Fortunately for us, a lot of the moves we made last year for our recruitment and retention are working, and we're able to kind of bring people in just as fast as we would potentially lose them. We don't want to lose anybody, but in the event we do, we have some waiting in the wings. I'd like to update the board on open house as well, if that's possible. So our claim to fame every year, the one where we really stand out and people come to us instead of us going to them, is our open house. So we'd like to invite the whole community out and any regional partners, October 27th from 1 to 4. I know the Bengals game is at like 4:30 that day, so we promise we will get you in and out of there as quickly as possible. We have some of the usual things that we'll be offering: tours of the fire museum, the tower climb, kids firefighter challenge course. We're really excited to show off some new medical technology that I've shared with the board in recent weeks, so people can physically come out and see it, put their hands on it, see how it works, and really understand what this is going to do for our emergency medical services. We'll also have our new fire extinguisher simulator that we received on grant. That will be out there, and so any folks that are looking to have community instruction, CPR, you name it, we'll have all those set up. We're partnering with Mercy West Hospital, UC Hospital, Delhi Township Police Department, Mount St. Joe Physical Therapy, Buckle Up for Life. Our CARES program will be there. Force Risk of Cancer, which is breast cancer screening, will be there. We will also have a table set up with our fire cadets. So we'll have lots of opportunities of how to get involved with the fire department and other health initiatives we do in the community. So again, that's October 27th, Sunday, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the fire headquarters. So everyone's invited.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Parks and Recreation, we have a resignation.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of seasonal Parks and Recreation worker Parker T. Gold, effective September 13th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. All right. It's all yours, Mr. Soupy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was just going to update you guys on the dog fence update right now. So it is being in the process of the gate going up. We are waiting on the fences up, wait on gates to be finished. There are some closing features that are going to be happening. As of right now, we are going to leave the site closed until completion for grass growth and work to be completed for safety of the residents and everything. So we need to get in and out at all times, so we don't want to have to tell people not to be in. And after approved, I'll order materials for such like utility components, agility components, water fountains, waste stations, and like seating areas after our spending authority is approved. It'll more likely I'll order it this year and it'll be installed after the winter. We're running on right now we're waiting on the water line to be installed as well. After today, I'll have that set and be on the radar. We're gonna run the water line from our main maintenance barn via underground boring system, which it seems to be the cheapest option. I have a gentleman on call right now. So there is still work to be done before winter. We're shooting for spring to open it for next year, getting everything set, all the agility stuff in, the water fountains. As of right now, we're shooting for two entrances and exits. One is behind Field 3 off of the walking trail. That one will be utilized right off the bat. That'll be our main entrance. The second one will be down by where our portalette is located right now. That'll take some piping and fill and a little bit of brush and clear work. It'll be more of a nature trail to get into the bottom as well. So that'll be in the future. I didn't know if there's any other questions you guys had. There is a few pictures. As of right now, it just shows the fence because that's all we have. It'll start to like shape up once the equipment and things are in there right now. So,
Randy, will we have signage pointing dog park this way?
I will have other stuff coming in, yeah, as well. That's all one order in the process. So we'll have things to go down, and there's other options for next year as well for lighting and extra cameras as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
And how large, how much acre and?
It's just shy of, I believe it's 3/4 of an acre, almost an acre. So, and it is divided into two sections for a larger dog park and a smaller dog park. So, and it gates access and everything through, so you can enter and exit at two different sides. So, yeah.
All right.
Kind of your standard setup for the first part of the utility, and then we're going to kind of customize what is needed in there, what was thought to be the most popular activities for the animals. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I know they've been waiting. We're very
Yeah, there's
excited.
a couple comments online, but it probably, we're shooting for spring. As much needs to happen, the grass needs to keep growing. We did put some drainage in. Hopefully it's enough, for everything going on. So as of right now, it's shaping up and it's going to be going, but it does take a little time to get everything finished, so.
It does.
We're going to get everything set for this year, get it going for next year.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that,
Yeah.
your help on that and work on that.
So-
Anything else?
Randy.
Yeah, a couple little things. I have the, coming up, the cruise, preparing for the Hoot Nny, Harvest Hoot Nny coming up this Saturday. It's from 10 to 3. Weather should be great, so come on out. There is parking at St. Simon across from Story Woods Park. We do have shuttles, a couple celebrity drivers too, I believe, so we'll see. So, and we have, as usual, vendors, food, drinks, activities. We're going to have the petting zoo, pumpkin patch, face painting, just to name a few of them. So it's going to be a good activity. The weather's supposed to be nice, so come out and enjoy. So,
Okay. Anything else?
that's it.
Wow, thank
For
you
now.
for everything.
Thank you.
Yep. Any questions from the board?
Good.
All right, thank you. Police Department, please. We have a recommendation?
We have a motion to approve the hourly rate for the part-time police clerk, Michaela R. Lacalamento, to $15.60 per hour, effective October 24th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Now, Chief, this is because she's out of her probation, correct?
Correct. She's been doing a great job. Her probation's up actually on the 24th of the month, but she's doing a good job for us.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, another resolution, please.
Resolution 2024-166, declaring certain police vehicles and equipment no longer needed for public use and authorizing the sale to the Village of Green Hills Police Department and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution, Chief?
So we've been selling our old vehicles to other political subdivisions since 2010. That involves Cleves, it involves Kenton, Ohio PD, it involves Hardin County PD, and now Green Hills PD, if you guys approve this motion. We've developed a relationship with Hardin County over the past, they've been the primary purchaser probably since 2017. Generally speaking, we get about $13,000 per car. Earlier this year, Hardin County purchased 3 cars because obviously, as you guys are aware, we had a hard time getting vehicles last year, so they went in service earlier this year, and by the time we took them out of service, so Hardin County already purchased 3 this year. And when we found out we were going to do 3 more, I called them and said, hey, we've got 3 more cars available. Do you want 6 this year instead of 3? And they said they can't do it. So when Green Hills heard that we had 3 vehicles available, they asked if they could purchase them. They got permission from their city or their village, and obviously they agreed to a purchase price. Skylar and I worked it out at $13,000 per vehicle, as usual. However, the caveat this year is we're taking the lights off the top of them and using them in our new cars. That saves us about $7,500. So Hardin County purchased the 3 earlier this year for $11,500. Which is obviously less than these 3. We drove those 3 that we sold to Hardin County earlier this year a little bit longer because of the delay. So that's why we reduced the cost a little bit. But generally speaking, we sell them for $13,000 or $14,000. And since we took the lights off of these cars, it's saving us $7,500. We felt as though $13,000 was a fair price. I will tell you that in having discussions with other police departments throughout the county, they wish we had the relationship we had with other police departments as far as being able to sell the old cars to them. We're obviously, I always say we're blessed because we are. In this case, obviously, Green Hills needed these vehicles, and they went through the motion and purchased them. I will tell you that we do the same thing with equipment as far as old vests. I mean, some departments are so, unfortunate that they'll take expired vests from us and use them because they don't have any. So I think for us to be able to help other communities in the area with equipment or vehicles that can't normally afford new stuff, I think it's a blessing to our community. I think it's a good thing to do. And I feel as though that we should help another jurisdiction out if we have the ability to do so. And obviously, we're getting a good return on our investment. We're getting enough money to actually help us purchase new cars. And just an example for you, several years ago, we were trying to sell a Harley Davidson that we had to another police department in Kentucky. We weren't allowed to sell it to an agency in Kentucky, so we had to put it on bid because I couldn't find somebody in Ohio to purchase it. The Kentucky agency agreed to purchase it at $9,000. We auctioned it and got $6,000. So it's
After we paid to strip it down?
after we paid to remove all the emergency equipment because we cannot sell it with that stuff on the car. So it's just one of those things where it's win-win, you know, and the ORC allows us to sell directly to another political subdivision without putting it out for bid. It's 505-101. If any listeners want to read that section, it's right in there. It allows us to do that without bid or without auction. So, but I will say that if anybody has any questions ever about anything we do as a police department, my door is always open, and I'm glad to answer any questions people might have. So if you have any additional questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Our relationship with Harlan started through auction, correct?
No, it did not.
Sorry.
So what we did is we sent out an email to all the police departments in the state of Ohio, said, hey, because we were getting at the time $3,000 and $4,000 for old police cars on auction.
Okay.
So once we put them out there, they saw it, and as truth be told, they were sitting in a Ford dealership to buy 3 cars, and they saw our email come across. And they said, ooh, we want those. So they called me from the dealership and said, we want those cars, sight unseen. And we've developed a relationship since then, and it just works.
Okay, thank you.
In this case, we're getting a guarantee from the Greenhouse Police Chief, too, so.
Right,
Yep.
personal guarantee, got it. Okay, any questions from the board?
No.
Chief, real fast, I know we're taking the main light bar off the top of these.
Correct.
For reuse. There's still some ancillary equipment on these. Was the light bar taken off of the equipment list on here, or do we need to modify the exhibits on this resolution?
What Green Hills is getting is 3 light bars that we had in storage that he's going to make work. They're not the right size for the car, but he's going to make them work.
He's going to modify them. Okay,
Correct.
that's fine. That works. Perfect.
All right.
Questions?
I guess there is a question. What is the value of the equipment that's being used to outfit these cars?
That's a good question. I will tell you, when we purchase new cars, it costs us about $35,000-ish to purchase the equipment and install them in each car. But obviously, after 4.5, 5 years of use, it obviously doesn't have the same value. And a lot of the equipment we can't reuse because we're going from a different model year or a different brand.
Vehicle?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Light bar is easy because it just goes on the top of the car.
Just heave-ho and move to the next vehicle?
Yeah, because we can't take the cage as far as any of the emergency equipment, as far as it's inside the car, generally speaking, and reuse it. And some of the technology is out of date, and to be honest with you, I said it before, and I'll say it 100 times, probably the rest of my career, probably more, is we're blessed. Selling these cars to another agency gives us the advantage of being able to get our officers the latest and greatest equipment, so the safety factors is always into play.
Good. All right, thank you.
Thank you. You want to move?
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
yes.
We got caught.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes. Department update, Chief?
Sure. So I had the privilege of looking at our third quarter, or I should say, first 3-quarter numbers for crime and crashes, et cetera. So I'm obviously excited to report that we're still 27% down in crime from last year. So we've kind of maintained that 27% decrease from last year. We've seen a 5% increase in calls for service from the communications center. We've got actually have a 16% increase in incidents compared to last year. And accidents are down 9% from last year. So all the good numbers are down as far as, but the radio runs and obviously dispatches are up, but crimes are down, crashes are down. So those are good numbers to report. But 27% decrease in crime is huge.
All right, perfect, thank you. Okay, Public Works, we have a voluntary resignation.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of seasonal maintenance worker Michael K. Lips, effective September 28, 2024.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay, Public Works.
Motion to approve the hiring of Ezra J. Witt as Service Worker 1 in the Public Works Department at the first step rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Road Department Employees Association and successful completion of the pre-employment drug testing and background check effective on October 17th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
We have Resolution 2024-167, resolution imposing all-way stop sign at Bandana Drive and Panther Court and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution, please? Mr. Gelhausen.
Yeah, this is something that we've been working with Police Chief Braun, and the residents have been requesting this at the intersection of Panther and Bandana. We feel that the additional stop signs would help with the safety and traffic here. We have talked to all the residents in the area, and everybody agreed that they would like to see the stop sign there. Is there anything you need to add?
I think that this happening is a good example of our action taken against public request.
Absolutely, yes.
Exactly. I mean, the police department checked it out, you've checked it out, the residents have been cleared, everyone had an opportunity for input to this issue. But it actually started with a resident calling and saying, you know what, I don't think this intersection's working for us. So I congratulate all of you, and good job for being responsive to a citizen's request.
Yeah, it could be deadly, yes.
Yeah.
Can I add, if you don't mind? So obviously, it was a pleasure working with these guys as far as taking a look at all this stuff. We did a 2-week speed study as far as in that area too, and the average speed over 2 weeks was just under about 24 miles an hour. So there was some, lack of better terms, knuckleheads driving through there once in a while too fast. But as far as the average speed was right around 24, which is where we kind of thought it would be. I will tell you that I stopped over there the other day and took a couple pictures. And as I'm pulling in a driveway, I almost got hit broadside because I couldn't see. So we obviously looked at it. We determined that probably there is really no speed problem except for the knuckleheads. But the visibility is the key. You can't really see the houses on the west side of the street, south of Panther Court. There is, it's really hard to see out of the driveway, and that's the primary determination that we made the recommendation to you all as far as the sight distance was a problem.
Right, thank you. Any more discussion on that? All righty.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes. Resolution passes. Department update, please.
Yeah, I want to inform everybody that Duke Energy is going to be replacing some poles between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Ebenezer between Cleves, Warsaw, and Devil's Backbone. They are slightly delayed right now because they send the crews out to help with the hurricane damages, so they should be back shortly. They have been using flaggers right now, but eventually they will close the road down for a few days while the work continues.
Okay.
Anderson Ferry Road is now open between Hillside and River Road. They finished that a little sooner than they anticipated. There's a little bit of more work to do, but for the most part, the road should be open now, so people can travel that way. And want to remind everybody that Hillside is still closed just west of Anderson Ferry for the landside repair. They are on schedule with the repairs that should be open by spring of 2025.
How long is Anderson Ferry down by Rapid Run going to have flaggers?
I was just there earlier today. It looked like they're just replacing the poles, so I'm hoping by tomorrow they should be finished.
Because that's a short term.
Yep, they were just replacing a line pole there.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. If we'll move into administration, please. Motion?
We have a motion to authorize the administrator to facilitate a volunteer program and designate volunteers to assist with the Delhi Town Square operations and programming.
So moved.
Second? All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. We have a resolution.
Resolution 2024-168, authorizing the Township Administrator to spend greater than $10,000 on behalf of the Township and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on the resolution?
We have multiple vendors on this one. I apologize, I thought I had it up. Let's see here. We have, this is purchases that will include improvements at the parks. I know Mr. Supi talked about the water lines and other equipment. We have, excuse me, this is the alarm system at the PD. So it's all pretty standard maintenance improvements.
Okay.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes, resolution passes. Administrator's report, please.
Going to be brief tonight, this afternoon. Again, we're still working with Turner to do the final closeout on the DTS project. So this is technically still an open construction project. We have some repairs that need to be made before we can close out the lawn bar. We had some damage to the countertop during construction. Lighting still is an issue that's being resolved on site. So we're working with our electrical contractors on that. Just to touch on the volunteer program, that is actually part of the ongoing operations for DTS. We're learning about how to operate this new space. A huge portion of this facility is open to the public, but we've contracted with a third party to manage those spaces. And between the private contractor and us, there's some liability gaps. We're already paying for the third party to do the operations. Having them, in addition, as a layered volunteer, kind of covers those liability gaps for us. So just made good sense. That program may expand in the future, as we see additional needs on site. Just like with all of our other departments, having the flexibility to bring in volunteers to help out for special events comes into play. So looking forward to exercising that ability here. Aside from that, the township is well in its way of developing its 2025 appropriations budget. We're working with all the departments right now and should have a schedule out here in short order to, for public hearings and ultimate approvals. So our October and November schedule for public meetings is a little off our standard track. We're just working on, internal schedules and working through, those seasonal issues with holidays. So we will be posting our full holiday schedule as soon as we coordinate everybody's availability. That's all I have.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Community Development Department, we have an update? Mr. Roach.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Madam Trustees. Yeah, just a few things. As we're sitting here, I just got a notification that Kroger's gas pumps are closed. As we know, earlier this week, Speedway was closed down. I believe I shared an email with y'all. It seems like the state may be coming through recalibrating pumps or whatever. So they're only closed for a couple hours. So it looks like Kroger's is closed for now. So I assume that's what's going on there. So if you get any inquiries about that. Other than that, I just want to share a few things. So year to date, community developments, we've issued 212 zoning certificates with a little over $5 million worth of improvements in the township. So that's not bad. It's about on track for what we've seen in the past years besides, when DTS was underway and things like that. Take 5 Oil, it's well underway. You can see it going across the street from us over there. That's kind of interesting when they brought that in. They brought it in sections, like a modular thing, and put it together like a puzzle. All of us today were fortunate to welcome Dunkin Donuts for the reopening. They opened on the 7th. Obviously, we had a ribbon cutting this morning there. I think I shared the email. We issued a permit for a new single-family home at Magnolia Place, which is an extension of Fox Trails off of Candlestick out there. And it was a little over $1 million project. And so there's 5 of those going out there. No, Mr. Luby, it's not TIF area. So just before you ask.
He's in the high rent district now.
We are working, community development, we're working on updating our zoning map. since we've had, a lot of new developments coming in the past couple of years with Greenside, Garden Grove, Heather Ridge. So we'll be working with Cages and the county to update that, and Mr. Ryan's going to help us print out on our new plotter, I think. I know Chief Campbell here has shared with me, he's had a few inspection for Los Patrones, which is at the old main entrance. So it looks like they may be getting close to opening. Don't have an opening date yet, and we'll work with Mrs. Stutt to work on a ribbon cutting for that. Pedretti Place over at the corner of Pedretti and Foley is under roof. Windows are in, so it looks like they're trying to get it watertight, weather-tight for a winter project on the inside to finish it up. And I think they're looking at a projected finish date of July of '25. Other than that, a little sad news. Charlie Fair, who has served our community for well over 40 years, I've had a couple conversations with him trying to sweet talk him in. I think he's going to hang his hat up with the zoning commission this year, so we'll have a vacant seat there. He said he'd be available for, if we had any special projects or things like that, if we wanted his input. But so if you know anybody who you think might be a good fit for our zoning commission, we'll be looking for you all to appoint someone to that here come '25.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have anything else unless you would have questions for me.
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Tony, what's going on down at Rapid Run and Anderson Ferry?
Mr. Luby, I don't know. I mean, the last conversations we had, they put us on hold for another project, but I probably need to reach out to them and see. I think it's still, so I know, talking to Leeseman Engineering, who had to turn it over to a traffic engineer, with the change in the lanes going east on Rapid Run and north on Anderson Ferry, we had to extend those turn lanes. The last I heard, it was out to bid to see what that's going to cost to do that, because that expense goes to the property owner. Now, they'll have to work with the county engineers on that, but I think the expense is on them. So, but other than that, I don't know, have any dates on when they're planning on, starting construction or?
So it's still going to be a gas station?
As far as we know, yes. Yeah, and it's the same owners who built that one over in Cheviot on Harrison Avenue at the old Frank's Garden Center there, kind of the heart of Cheviot there. So
Are there any other amenities or anything that they were going to add to that, or any, like?
So the development plan was approved by the zoning, it was approved by the zoning commission a couple years ago. Phase 1 was going to be the gas station with a convenience store with 2 gas canopies. And then to the west was going to be a 20,000 square foot strip center for retail space.
Okay.
So that was phase 2. That's what was approved by the zoning commission.
Okay.
Does that have a expiration date on it?
The development plan does not. Now, if they would change from that, Trustee Sturtson, and yes, if they would deviate from what was approved by the zoning commission, then yes, they would have to go back in front of the zoning commission for any changes. Okay. But as far as expiration date on what they approved, no.
No. Okay. Good to know.
The burning question is still what's going on at the White Castle. Do we have any information at all?
None. I mean, not recently, but when they first closed, I've taken calls of, what's permitted there and what can be there and things like that, but nothing.
Nothing yet.
That's another tough, challenging corner there, and it's going to be a challenging corner. I think with what they're going through at Anderson Ferry with the ingresses and egresses and the turn lanes, I think my personal opinion, the next occupant there is going to come with them same challenges with the county. Because that's,
okay.
White Castle has been there for 22 years, 24 years.
Right.
But with them turn lanes and them ingress and the egress is so close to the intersection, I think they may have some challenges as well when it comes to fruition.
Okay.
Tony, what are they asking for it?
I think it was just a little shy of $1 million.
Interesting.
Moving?
It's going to stay vacant for a while.
Well, considering what we paid for the property on the other side of the street.
Correct,
That's,
Isn't that about a third of an acre?
Mr. Miller, I think it's correct, yeah. I mean,
Roughly,
I think, to make it a viable corner, I think they'd have to go, to the west and to the south and buy up some other things to make that a really workable site.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Good to know. Thank you for that. I think we're a little bit remiss tonight and we probably should have said something in trustee correspondence, but I think Ms. Seavey will also agree. We have 2 volunteers that work out at our Floral Paradise Gardens who have done an absolutely wonderful job. That they're behind the scenes, you know, they don't come out beating their chest or whatever, but if you have been there, you know, we have them to thank. And Cheryl, you want to introduce them? I mean, I know you know them better than I do, so that's why.
And Randy's smiling, so maybe he should take credit on this, but I just left Floral Paradise Gardens before I came here, and that's why I asked about the hissy snakes. But, you know, they're in great shape. They're getting ready for the shutdown for winter, and Burnings, we are just so grateful for all of your hours of volunteering to take care of that Floral Paradise Gardens. And of course, the contribution from Mr. Maddox on fixing that greenhouse. We will make sure that there is a nice thank you and gratitude for him for doing that, because we have worried about that greenhouse for many years, and to see it back into great shape is such a relief and such a blessing.
Yeah.
Did you want to add to that,
I would add to it,
Randy?
yeah. The volunteers have done amazing up there, and I did talk with the volunteers, and we were going to work with Mr. Maddox on a future meeting to recognize him for that. And we're also going to do stuff up at the greenhouse as well, signs and
Right.
momentum stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, so residents, if you've not been to Floral Paradise Gardens over off of Greenwell, stop in, take a walk around, and, you know, it's gorgeous. It's just very relaxing, it's very peaceful, and thank you. Again, so when we talk about our volunteer program that we were just talking about today, that we had the motion on, these are the kind of volunteers we're talking about in other departments. So again, thank you for the community for joining with us. And many, many thanks from up here. Do you have anything you want to say? No? You're good?
I just want to say it's not just us. There's 14 volunteers, and we're up there all together working. It's not just us.
Right.
There's a bunch of us that work there.
On Wednesdays. Now, will that continue into the fall? Yeah, other days too, but Wednesdays are when the volunteers are up there, and anybody's welcome to help, come join you. So what she was saying, if you did not hear, there's 13 to 14 of them, of our residents who are helping with that. And they're not all master gardeners, correct? Just interested in gardening and so on and so forth. And yes, we want to appropriately recognize all of them, and in the future, we will do that appropriately, right? Okay, thank you. I just felt remiss, especially when we start talking about volunteer programs. So thank you. Anything else, Mrs. Seavey?
No.
You're good. Okay, good. Public comment. We have nobody signed in for public comment. So we'll have an announcement of community events, please, Mr. Miller.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. The Delhi Town Square Lawn Bar is open for business on Fridays and Saturdays from 4 until 9 p.m. I will say that we are currently looking at closing down the seasonal operations on that at the end of the month.
Okay.
Although we will continue with
Bengal games?
hosting the Bengals games. At least while there's still interest, and, you know, the weather cooperates with us. So I don't want to commit for the entire season.
Yes.
But, you know, we'll keep that going as long as everybody's interested, and, you know, we're not freezing out there. So in addition to that, we do have some performances out on the lawn. The next one is Saturday, October 19th. That's Crimson Road from 6 to 9, again, out on the lawn. We also have coming up on the lawn and in here as well, a family trunk or treat night. That is Saturday, October 26th. That will actually run during the day, 1 to 4 p.m. There's activities out on the lawn as well as inside the building. And with that, we have 2 musical performances that night on the 26th. First one is Tracy Walker from 3:30 until 5:30 out on the lawn. And then is it FOG or FOG?
I took it as fog, but anyway.
Well, it's in all caps.
All caps,
so, yeah. That performance begins at 6 p.m. out on the stage. We are also in the early planning stages, so I'm not going to commit to it, but I'm going to talk about it here. We are currently working on featuring a movie night in this room for our Delhi families, Hocus Pocus, in celebration of Halloween. So that'll be October 25th, tentatively. And we
Right,
will get
tentatively.
additional information out to the community as soon as that firms up. So check our website, check Facebook for that upcoming event. All right, other community events. Kids, Cops, and Firefighters Queen of Hearts fundraiser is every Friday night at Jim and Jack's on the River. You do not have to be there to win. You can buy tickets at Jim and Jack's whenever they are open. And of course, you win the same amount whether you are there or not. So come on in, help us support our less fortunate kids in Delhi. Buy some Queen of Hearts tickets. The Harvest Hoot Nny, presented by Delhi Parks and Recreation, is this Saturday, October 19th, from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at our Storywoods Park. Fun for the entire family, local crafts and vendors, pumpkin patch, balloon artists, children's activities, face painting, food trucks, and a petting zoo. For more information, call Delhi Parks at 513-451-3300, or check out our Facebook page. Correct, Randy? Yep. All right.
All right,
You know
thank you. What?
We owe a big thank you when just the reminder for the kids, cops, and firefighters. We had the grand reopening for Dunkin Donuts this morning, and Dunkin Donuts presented kids, cops, and firefighters with a $2,500 check for what all they do for Christmas and with the kids. And it was, we are so blessed and we are so thankful. And yeah, you know what? Delhi kind of runs on Dunkin', so they appreciate us as well. So
Great
thank you,
business
Dunkin'
partner.
Donuts, and thank you for the donut. And yeah,
And the coffee.
And the coffee.
2,500, how many children will that serve? Because how much do you give approximately for each child? 2,500 or 250 per?
No, each kid gets about 125. Obviously, we're talking about each year, we talk about whether we're going to increase it or not.
That's almost 20 children that they're going to make sure have a Christmas and their families. That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so thank you very much, Dunkin' Donuts.
yes, thank you. All right, motion to adjourn?
With no further business to be brought before this board, I move that we adjourn.
So moved?
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Our next meeting is at our regular time, lo and behold, October 30th at 6 o'clock, costumes optional. Thank you, Delhi.